Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patchnotes. We are three, potentially more in the future, friends, and we are competing, quote unquote, competing with each other to make our own games within a set time frame and with certain. I suppose you can call them challenges. Basically, one of us is a student studying game development.
That's me.
I myself am a total beginner. I mean, I've fiddled with UE a little bit, but mostly a beginner. And then the third of us is some backwards nobody who uses an ancient game as their game engine. Our time limit is 4 to 6 months before we have to have a functioning game, not necessarily complete. And every 2 weeks, we will do kind of a progress report video to show our progress and then show each other our progress and, any funny stuff that may go on there. Basically, this is just our pilot episode where we discuss the concept, and towards the latter half of the video, we'll be tossing around some ideas. So, Mr. Sean here is our resident student.
Yes, I am.
I was gonna say, introduce yourself there, buddy.
My name is Sean. I am a student currently studying game development. Does not make me good at game development at all, but um, I'm going to be utilizing Unreal Engine 5.4, and we'll be developing a 3D, almost like in-person tower defense game, is the best way to describe it right now.
I am the noob. My name is Connor. I have fiddled around with UE a little bit, and that is the engine I will also be using. That could change in the future with later seasons if this quote unquote show even goes that far. But yeah, I'll be using UE. I've fiddled with it a little bit. Mostly just terrain, and that's barely anything to do with development. But my game idea, which we'll go further into our games later, but my idea is basically a 3D game. I suppose you can call it open world, just like a chill, relaxing game. And then we've got Mr. Isaac, our throwback.
I'm Isaac. I will be using the Neverwinter Nights 2 Electron toolset, and I'm hoping to make like sort of a stealth-focused RPG game or whatever.
Any episode released in the future, like I said, is basically gonna be like a progress report, and those are going to be every 2 weeks ish. There could be a few like plus or minus days there, but basically this is like all the stuff that would include. And also we're hoping to get some input from viewers. Obviously we're not expecting a ton of input because we're brand new, but for anybody who does happen to catch this video in their feed, we would love some input if we ever ask for it. We also plan to do a point system, so at the end of the 6 months for this first season, we may like designate points and stuff for our games to kind of tally up at the end, so that whoever's decided to be the winner isn't really that biased. So it might help to have like a point system for that later. And we can also I think we also plan to take some viewer polls on stuff like that. Right now for the first season, we're just focusing on starting small for the benefit of the less talented participants. So basically the challenge for this is just to make any functioning game. Silly little game. And yeah, so down here, let's go ahead and toss around game ID'd. I think that's supposed to say ideas. Game ideas and roadmaps. We'll start with you, Sean, if you want to edit that part of the document.
So my development will handle Unreal Engine 5.4 specifically. Currently, my game's going to handle having a first person control, and the overall concept will have you within the cockpit of a spaceship, and from there you have control over different systems of the ship. And your main goal is to utilizing different systems like weapon systems, shields, whatever, defend against a attacking ship.
Very cool.
No idea how this is going to scale in terms of what actually can get done, especially in the time span that we have. But I'm pretty confident that at least something can be made, at least a bare bones MVP.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, finished, just, functioning in some capacity.
Which, speaking of that, I'm not sure if anybody said our time limit for this season will be 6 months. We may or may not keep that same time limit for future seasons, or we may shorten down to 4 months or whatever. This season will be 6 months, so
Yes,
that's the time
yes,
limit he's referring to.
yes. I believe I mentioned that earlier, but I don't think I mentioned that it
Yeah.
could shorten.
I know this is a stupid question, but what does a MVP mean?
Minimum viable product.
Yes.
Ah, that's right. You guys told me about that before.
Or if you're wait, no. For some reason I was thinking MLG, which is not at all the same thing.
Major League Gaming.
Yes. That is not at all the same thing.
I think that's everything that I plan at least right now, or at least have solid for a quick development.
Okay, Isaac, you're next.
I am. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I'll be using the Neverwinter Nights Electron tool set. I'm leaning more towards like a very stealth-oriented game. So like stealth, instead of being a side mechanic, will more be like the primary mechanic or your primary focus or whatever.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Just as of now at least. And then I'll also try and, since obviously I am, as of right now, the only person not using UE, I'll be trying to bring my platform. Obviously, I won't be able to get to the level of UE in terms of like capability and graphics, but I will try and maybe bump the graphics up as far as I can and do maybe some scripting / custom content, something or the other, to hopefully improve capability. So
Mhm.
maybe just trying to eliminate my platform shortcomings and focus on its strengths.
Sounds pretty
Very
good.
cool, very cool. Yeah, I suppose using your engine kind of gives you a disadvantage.
Sure, in some areas.
Yeah, I think that's something that could be made up for with the point system and with like viewer polls and stuff like that. So
Sure. I was also thinking I will have a disadvantage in terms of capability and graphics, but I will have a somewhat significant speed advantage because all the
yeah,
prefab
that's
like
very true.
models and stuff,
Yeah.
while expanding the.
Yeah, and another idea that we had was if we go further than season one, another season could have a challenge where we have to use each other's engine or use a different engine in general, which could add some nice spice or variety.
I was also thinking of possible future season ideas. We could do something that would be like innately very difficult for our platforms. So like maybe make like I can't remember what the game's called. Is it called like Galactus or something? That old Pac-Man era game where it was like a top-down scrolling shooter. Like we could try and do something like that or something, which I know I'd have a heck of a time trying to get that done in my platform. So I don't know.
Yeah, so like a different genre.
Yes, or something that's innately very challenging for our platforms. Like maybe you guys could do RPGs or something, because I hear those are hard
Yeah.
to build from scratch. But just an idea. And sorry, Connor, what were your game ideas and roadmaps?
Oh, so for my game, I was planning. I'm also using Unreal Engine 5.5. Mine will also be first person. You can call it open world. It basically is open world, but it's gonna be a small open world.
Sort of like, I think you said like a life sim, sort of, or at least
Yeah,
inspired
yeah.
by.
Yeah, so like it's basically going to be purely like life sim slash quality of life kind of gameplay. So like relaxing stuff. Kind of like I
Okay.
guess you could say Animal Crossing or, similar games like that. And it's going to focus on mechanics kind of like not necessarily that they will get implemented. That is one of my minimum goals, is to have like at least something like fishing.
Okay.
I guess we'll put that in MVP. It was like fishing or like shroom hunting. And also I think day and night cycle, as well as like sleeping to pass the day. I don't really think I'm going to have any kind of survival elements or anything like that, like food or water or temperature,
Okay.
because those are probably going to be really difficult for me. But in terms of like style, I'm thinking low poly, but
Like
with
voxel, you said, or something,
yeah,
maybe.
more low poly. I'm not, because voxel is like
Okay.
is like cubes. It's like all cubes.
Oh, okay.
So there's no round edges or anything like that.
Okay.
So
Okay, I see.
yeah, I was thinking low poly, but like very atmospheric. And yeah, that's basically what I'm going for.
Nice, nice.
And Xander down here, he'll probably be joining us later in the series. There may be a time where I specifically am unable to make progress whenever I need to make progress. So in those situations, he would probably be helping me with my game as well as doing his own. But for the most part, I will be working on my game by myself. I'm gonna try my best to try and minimize how much he has to help me. But yeah, he'll also be doing his own game, and he'll probably join us a bit later.
We also have another guy that may or may not be joining us. I'm not counting on it, but he said he may be interested. But
Yeah.
if he joins, he joins. If he doesn't, well, we still have enough people as it is.
Yeah, and Xander is also a game dev student. He's going to a lesser quality school than Sean, so his curriculum isn't quite as good as Sean's.
Wow.
But-
Wow, shots fired.
Wow.
Trash talking has started on the first episode. All right.
I mean, it's true.
No, that's fair.
He said so himself, all right?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just
So,
messing with you.
yeah. And then also, we haven't really determined this yet, but there could be cases where, I mean, obviously me or anybody else can't make progress or doesn't make progress before one of the bi-weekly episodes. We'll figure out what we're going to do in that case. Cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Only thing I can think of is as far as the constraints for each of the challenges go, we don't have to make everything from scratch. We are allowed to use in the case of if anybody wanted to use Unity, from my understanding, Unity has a pretty big bunch of community made 3D models and stuff. So we'd be allowed to use stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah, there's also places like Sketchfab where you can go to. I think there's probably free stuff, but you can it's also stuff you could pay for. That's like 3D models or other various things. There's also in Unreal Engine they have I think it's called Fab now. It's what replaced the Unreal Store, where you can get assets and stuff, so there's that as well. At the end of the season, I guess we didn't really mention that, what we do at the end of the season, but at the end of the season for the finale, that's when we show each other our games, and then if they're in a playable state, we play each other's games. And the goal is that they should be in a playable state, but that does not mean finished.
And then, like Connor said, we'll do the voting and all that point stuff then.
Yeah, and the voting and whatnot. I think we've covered everything and gone over our ideas. Does either of you want to close us, or would you rather me do it?
May everyone have good luck and fun in developing their games.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. And yeah, I guess we'll see all of you viewers in the first progress report in roughly 2 weeks, plus or minus a few days maybe. And yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.